Every time.
That's what it always is.
All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I be your host, Uncle Legend, and with me always is my beautiful co-host, Call Girl 6, better known as Fox.
Hey y'all, what's going on?
They're not gonna say nothing back.
Somebody gonna say something.
They rude out here.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening? Let me get this over here to the
King
corner.
Orca is in the building.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
And his old lady over here
Polite.
too. Let me tell you
Hey,
something.
Mrs. Polite.
If demon energy is a couple was ever exhausted, that's it right there, boy. That is it. So for my brothers and sisters that are so observant right now and also just as thirsty and hungry as I am, Ramadan Mubarak, we will be all right.
It'll be over in a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? The reward shall be ours.
At the end of the podcast, you'll be ready to go.
Trust me, this podcast ending. This podcast ending when it's time to break
Mrs.
fast.
Polite got a nice ring to it. I need to change my Facebook name. I'm glad I can be the visionary behind that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you want to start diving off in the deep end?
Yeah. So anyway, I was looking at something on some. I don't even know where I was at looking at it. To be honest, probably I don't know. Anyway, they were talking about.
That's clear. You don't know. Got it.
They were talking about little boys and whether or not they should play with dolls and all that. And we got Seth and Titan. And I was thinking, I used to be so like hell bent on hell. Nah, he ain't playing with no dolls. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. And I think everything needs to be a balance. And the reason why I say this because when I played with dolls as a little girl, it was me emulating my mother, how to take care of a kid, how to, have compassion and these sorts of things. And then now I'm thinking, I'm like, well, a boy need to learn how to be compassionate too, how to take care of kids too, how to don't flood him with it. I don't think you need to flood him with that, but he needs to learn those things too. And I'm wondering if there's a correlation with that and the way men feel detached from the household or feel so free, like, okay, whatever, do what you want to do or leave with the mama. Or, that compassion seems to be lacking when they get older, when they have these tumultuous relationships where they have to split.
So I'm going to go with that. Let me see. I'm going to go with the fact that I don't agree. I don't think boys should be playing with dolls. So psychologically, from a standpoint, women are more concerned with people and boys are more concerned with things. That's not every man in the world or every woman in the world before some nincompoop decides to hop into the comments and be like, well, no, my cousin is soft. But
that's not
no,
true.
No.
So don't
even... But listen, your cousin wears heels. But it's one of them. It's one of the things where it's like
right now.
It's one of the things where women are more like, that's why there's more women in like when you think about like the job market and stuff like that, right? Even here, and then even when people say, oh, well, this societal norm. Well, I mean, that's your opinion, but factual studies will show that, like when you look at Scandinavian societies, that there's more women in healthcare and everything. Like, so when they became egalitarian society, which is what everybody thinks the world should be and everything like that, which is fine, and the women went more towards those things that deal with people, you know what I mean? Whether it was like customer service and healthcare and those type of relations where they're dealing more with people, and men went more towards like the STEM fields that less people, more machines, right? So basically saying, if you look at most psychological literature, it's going to tell you that if you put 100 little boys in a room, and let's say that they weren't like highly brainwashed, just typical little boys in a room or something like that, you put them in a room and you put race cars and you put dolls, they're going to pick the overwhelming amount, like close to 90% of them are going to pick the race cars or whatever you deem masculine or whatever, right? Like they're gonna go towards that.
They said just naturally they're gonna gravitate
Yeah,
towards those
they're
things.
naturally going to gravitate towards that. And if you put girls in the room, it's going to be the exact polar opposite of that, where the vast majority of them are going to gravitate towards the dolls. So I don't know how much you get from a nurturing perspective of like taking care of playing with dolls, because I never played with dolls. Now action figures, like I play with action figures, but our action figures would fight.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you need to have played with some
Well, I
dolls
mean,
because
you say
you a
that.
mess a lot of the times. But
I mean, you're a
I
mess
would
all
think,
the time.
I would
So
think
I don't think dolls are
you
the answer.
playing with action figures, shooting and killing, drop kicking people's elbow, all this
I
shit.
don't think action figures is the reason I'm a mess. I think a broken childhood and PTSD is the reason why I'm a mess. I don't think it was the damn G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
GI Joe, little
Yeah.
green action
Yeah.
figures.
It wasn't the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip
See,
that
I
was
played
like,
with those too.
this is why I'm Thanos. Like, no, it was a you know what I mean? It was a rough rough upbringing and whatnot. But needless to say, I don't think that boys need to be pushed heavily into that, especially in the time like now where I feel like masculinity is such a fleeting concept, where we like got to a point with society, like we talked about on previous podcasts, when society and got to a point where they feel the need to demonize masculinity as a whole and everything. I don't think it's wrong, and I don't think boys are going to get as much as you think from that. And also too, another thing about compassion is my compassion and your compassion is going to look different. Like if we were perfectly two, like, you know what I mean, not broken people with broken backgrounds, we was as close to being healed as people could say we are, my compassion, your compassion is still going to look different.
I don't know. I can't really say.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's
it
like,
would look.
okay, just look at a perfect example is the way, like, okay, so we'll do Seth, for example. Like me playing with Seth and having a good time and loving it with Seth is completely different than you. Me is rough housing.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's rough and tumble play.
I see that.
It's this and that. It's still it's challenging him. It's doing this and that. And yours is more, oh, there's no money. Like we both love him, but what I'm saying is it's different. Our love looks different. A mother and a father's love looks different. So it's not like you can't expect a man to show the same type of compassion that you show, just like I can't expect you to show the same type of compassion that I show. We're different, contrary to the popular belief. So I don't think that boys really need to like play with dolls. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, because realistically, it goes back to that when we was talking about that podcast about rough and tumble play.
Mhm.
When we talked about it, that's them act like when they're doing rough and tumble play, that's them kind of acting out further things, right? So when like little boys are around their sisters or something like that and they get dressed up, that's the rough and tumble. That's like that's them acting things out, right? Like they acted out and they're like, oh, this is kind of good. This is like, I don't like it, right? Like it's not like the taboo thing. So a lot of these
Mhm.
people that they're showing, like these studies, especially like a lot of these like a lot of these people who have these gender dysmorphia and all this other stuff, what they're showing in a lot of these studies is that a lot of people go through that, especially when they don't get the opportunity to explore the opposite sex. So like, you know what I mean, when the little boy put the heels on and then everybody whoop his ass and jump him in the house and this and that, and then you go see him later on and he a drag queen, you know what I'm saying? Because what he's doing now is like he's acting out that at an older age where, you know what I mean, where it's more permanent than it is at that younger age to do it. So little boys need a chance to express themselves and go through these things
And
without us just
explore.
like harping on them. You can't just walk up to him and like see him with a doll, punch him in the chest, call him a sissy, and pour vinegar in his eyes,
No,
right?
you can't do
Like,
it.
like you know, say
Damn,
you can't,
vinegar.
like you can't go do stuff like
That was
that,
like
right?
an immediate thought, though. What do you mean vinegar? Like,
I'll
did this
I
happen to
never play
somebody
with
you know?
dolls. It's like I'll never play. I don't play that. But no, so but that's really what I'm getting at is like, so a lot of times when they don't get a chance to show that, to show that and explore, because everybody wants a chance to explore. Like no man, every man and every woman then had thoughts go through their head
Yeah.
of all types of things, whether it's with the opposite,
Taboo,
whether it's
or things that
taboo,
people
whether it's
consider
some
unnatural.
unnatural, or the thought then cross your head. It's like if I tell you, like, because you can't tell a mind not to do something. Like if I tell you, Fox, do not think of an elephant, the first thing in your head is an elephant.
Dumbo, okay?
Yeah. Like the first thing in your head is an elephant. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell a mind like, no, you can't do that, because the mind doesn't understand positive versus negative. It doesn't understand
It's
what's
just
okay
the
and what's not.
thing.
You know what I mean? The subconscious mind is like, this is a thing, whatever, right? So that's why they talk about like talking
of
nice to
attraction
yourself,
and
law
all
of
that.
attraction and things like that. It's like if you tell yourself like I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, your mind gonna be like, is your mind's gonna find out what an idiot is and then make sure that you can continue to be an idiot. It's gonna make sure that you succeed because you kept telling yourself that, right? So yeah, I don't think it's a real need
Yes.
for him to do it. I don't really think that that's going to give him a whole lot of compassion and everything. And I think at and I think that is just certain things that like we want people to be so well rounded that like we want like men and women to be so well rounded that we don't need each other. And I think that's literally a problem because we were meant to be families. Right. So we need to have the yin and the yang, right? Like we're gonna have some overlap because me and you, we're more alike than we're not alike. Like DNA wise, structure wise, everything. Like me and you are more alike than me and any other creature in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And vice versa, right? But we're still different. You know what I mean? From the DNA down to the chromosome, we're different, right?
Mhm.
So we can't expect me to be able to do everything that you do because if God made us in that image so that you could do everything I do and I could do everything that you do,
No, be
everybody
made for
think like,
each
oh,
other
you can have two bosses. You can't. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. You don't. But what you have is you have two people that have to take our strengths and weaknesses and meld
and put them
together and
together.
figure out
Yeah.
how to get better at things. So we can't do the same things and we can't. So me being as compassionate as a woman by playing with dolls, okay, so what area do I lack in? Because I can't be good at everything.
Mhm.
It's like a created character. When you get a created character on the video game, it's like,
Well, I'm not saying that they should play with them all the time. My thing is to the exposure to it and or see how things are cared for, and maybe they get that from their mothers too. Like that's
yeah,
obviously a thing as well.
I think the
But it
nurturing
should. I
relationship that
think it
men
does
need.
play a part in that, though.
I don't think it comes with dolls. I think the nurturing relationship that a man needs to understand when it comes down to like the nurturing portion is, I don't think he's gonna get that from dolls. He's gonna get that from his mom.
Yeah, he's gonna get it from
You
his
know what I
mom. But I'm
mean?
just saying, like the practice of we don't know what our mind hold on to when we're younger. We don't know what we hold on to, and so those things put into practice. Maybe we follow through with those things that
I'm
we
not.
were doing
I
as
put
we
it
were
this way.
younger.
I put it this way. I'm not going to say that it might not yield a positive effect, but what I'm going to say is that that's not
Unnecessary.
that is not necessary, nor is a lack of compassion consequence of not playing with dolls. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's really what I get at with that. So I mean, to each his own. You want your, and I think it's like certain stuff is like, come on, man. Like I don't even understand the point of like a Ken doll now. Like I heard that Ken dolls got genitals now.
Oh, what?
Yeah, somebody was saying that at work, but I don't know how. I don't know how true that is.
I've never seen it. I
But it's
wouldn't
like,
want that anyway. But
well, I mean, if you think about it, it's like maybe boys want representation. Like, who's this smooth crotch over here? Like, oh, Kenny Smooth Crotch over here. Maybe I don't want to look like Kenny Smooth Crotch. Maybe I want to have a dingaling. I'm a young man. Maybe I want to let my nuts hang. You know what I mean?
oh my god, what are the comments?
Oh, in the comments,
Boys play with action figure in this household. That's it.
yeah, learn compassion after you get married, son. Not with me.
Oh my god.
No, Wick. That's how you make broken individuals, right? Like we really like. I'm gonna tell you, just because I don't believe, like, just because I don't be doing no crying or something like that. You ask any of my sons, I will allow crying. I just don't allow crying for anything. Like you're not about to just cry because you don't feel like getting up this morning,
if
or
you get hurt or somebody did.
I'm up for like that's what you be like. One of my sons sitting there crying. You ask any of my sons what they ask, be like, you sitting there crying. What your dad gonna say? Um, is something broken? No. Are you hurting really bad? No. Is somebody dead? No. Then why are you crying, son? I don't feel good. You don't feel good. That's why you crying? Because you don't feel good? Because the thing about it is, it's like it's certain things that like say what you want about like societal norms. Does it say smooth crotch on the packaging for Ken? It should. Smoothest crotch this side of the Mississippi. But yeah, like it's certain aspects of it where it's like now I understand when people get to talking about like toxic masculinity, like toxic masculinity, telling boys they can never cry, they can never show emotion, this and that. I'll buy in and agree some of that stuff is toxic masculinity. Like that stuff is toxic masculinity. But telling your boys to toughen up, tighten up their upper lip, they can't cry all the time, they gotta control their emotions, they have to be strong, they have to be competent. That's not toxic masculinity. And on top of that, it's what every woman should want. Because I don't know any women that would like to have a man that cries all the damn time. I don't know what women would like to have a man who y'all don't want us emotionally unavailable, and y'all don't want us too damn emotionally available either. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want me to.
Is a balance.
Yeah, it's a balance. So what I'm saying is like, so what we doing is like every correction tends to be an overcorrection. So we went from like, oh well, we being too masculine to let's just make them all soft as hell. And both sides are going to suffer. Like both sides are going to suffer.
Just show a little vulnerability. That's it.
Yeah,
be
but
open enough to allow people in to
well, that's also a lot of responsibility that is on a woman for how.
relate to you.
Well, no, because a lot of that is on responsibility of the outside.
It's on
Because
the person.
no,
They don't
because a
have no
person's
way
not
how
going to.
to.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ask a lot of men why they're not vulnerable or something like that, is because conniving ass women that they done
Okay, you
been with.
gonna
I'm gonna
blame
tell you
them.
why. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you why.
They
Could
go
I?
to woman blame. Go ahead.
No,
Go
what I'm
on.
gonna tell
Tell
you
us
why
why.
is like because if you get
Tell us
vulnerable,
why we ain't shit.
no, I'm not gonna tell you why. I'm not saying that y'all not nothing. I'm just saying that the reason why a lot of men are afraid because it gets used against them, and we're usually not emotionally intelligent enough to fire back with that. So when it's like I tell you something, when I be up to like, hey, hey Fox, I say something. I don't know what would be something about Fox. I used to wet the bed in my freshman year in college or something like that, and you was up to like,
Come here,
oh,
pissy
okay,
boo. Come
yeah,
here, pissy boo. Come
yeah,
here.
see, and you'll do something like that, or it'd be like we have an argument or something like that, and I'm like, well, go ahead, get out of here. You're like, well, get your pissy ass
Pissy
up out of
ass out of
here.
here.
Get your old can't hold water ass out of here. How you gonna be a gangster can't hold no water? Get your soft pissy ass. Now I'm embarrassed, and now guess what? When the next woman asks me, she
Clean
be up
my
to like,
damn
tell,
sheets twice a week for you.
yeah, she like, well, why don't you tell me something? But she can have something that can help possibly heal me to tell me to pinch myself when I have this pee dream at 20 years old or something like that. And you know what? I ain't never going. I'm just pissing on myself at 60 years old, my whole damn life because you ruined me. Because like it's hard to open up. Right. So it's like emotional availability. It's a balance of like the maturity of the maturity of the man and the situation, right? Like when you first start opening up, just imagine if you was to talk about the deepest, darkest stuff, or you was to cry or something. I was like, God damn, you ugly when you cry.
I think people do that in general with each other.
Yeah.
So, like, women be vulnerable and then they're using as manipulation,
How they use it
to
get used
get
against
to.
women? Because women use it. Because the big difference about it is when women show weakness, women corral around women and be like, girl.
No, I'm talking about to a man, towards a man. A man will then use that to be manipulative towards her. I can't.
Yeah, but this the difference, right? If I was to say something manipulative around you, and it was some dudes and some girls around or something like that. So say our male and female friends were around, which really mean my male and female friends and your two friends, right? So your two female friends, right? So let's
my
say
mama said, count them on your hand, baby. You don't need everybody around you.
you can count them on your
You don't
knuckles.
need
Pow,
everybody
pow.
around you.
One finger,
don't need
knuckle.
them.
Pow,
You
pow.
don't need them.
Count them on your eyes, baby. 1, 2. So that's what you can do. Count them on your eyes. Count them on your ears, baby. Count your friends on your ears. 1, 2. But yeah.
Solid though.
Solid.
2 solid ones, you good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Too bad I'm one of them. But anyway, what was we talking about?
I don't know.
I lost a complete train of thought. We was talking about.
It probably was bullshit anyway.
Probably bullshit anyway. Who knows?
That's what he do.
Anyway,
boys, y'all can tell the man what he was talking about.
Oh yeah, when it come down to embarrassing. Yeah, when it come down to embarrassing. When it come down to embarrassing, if we had a room full of men and women, right, and they were our male and female friends, and you said something embarrassing to me, everybody's just gonna laugh at me. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's all right, pissy poo." But if that happened to you or something like that, and I was up to like, "Oh, pissy ass Fox, this and that, da da da," and they'd be like,
"Don't talk to her. Don't be doing that to her.
Don't talk to her like that. She had a child
when we really need to have it. Don't get mad because y'all don't got no brotherhood like that.
No, we don't.
When y'all need to have it,
men do not have that brotherhood.
We don't have it. It ain't stable with us, but when we need it, we got it.
Yeah. Okay. But for men, for men, I would say like, yo, we like, especially when you get to a certain level of maturity with men, we do it. Like me and my boys, like, you know how they say a lot of men, like they just don't want to be vulnerable at all. I mean, me and my boys, when we get off the phone, we say, I love you. It ain't no, hey,
yeah, I heard
love you, bro.
Like, gay.
Yeah. Every time. But see, and that's where toxic masculinity come from, right there. Because you say something like that, and then if I'm a weaker man, I'm up here like, nobody get no love from me. Yeah, except these hoes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that's where the toxic masculinity breeds from at that point. But it's like me and my boys, we saying I love you on the phone proudly. Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you got an issue with it, we can still box. We ain't no hoe in us now. We box, we shoot, we do all of this stuff. Like we do not turn the other cheek around here. Like we will box your ears in. And then we're gonna tell a homie, hey, love you, bro. See you later. And then it don't got to be all that masculine shit like, hey, all right, peace, bro. Like, brother, dudes can't even say bye when they get off the phone sometimes. You know, like some dudes be so uptight, they be up to like, they get off the phone. No, they get off the phone and be like, all right. Like, you know what I mean? Be like, yeah, I just said I need to say, all right. Click. I'll be on there, love, I love you, bro. Later. Like, because I just feel like it's one of them things where it's like we can, and I think a lot of that comes from being raised by my grandfather when my grandfather would call me handsome when I was young. And that was a huge influence on me because he would call me handsome. I'm like, hold on, ain't that gay? You know what I mean?
That's a G word.
Yeah, I'm up for like pop you. And then, but this was like this, a man. Like this was like a man's man to me. So when he said it, it's like, well, this must be okay. You know what I mean? Like this must be okay since he said that to me.
Bunny feeling some type of way, like, has never once said it to me.
Bunny, you a liar.
You is a liar because I heard it.
You know, she done heard me tell you I love you, Bunny. You a liar, liar. No, in fact, Bunny, you are toxic masculinity because you can't even say I love you without saying some tough guy shit afterwards. Like you are, the Bunny is more toxically masculine than any of my homeboys. Like as a woman, she over there like she'll be like, I love you, you baguette. Like why I gotta be French bread? Like why I gotta be French bread, dog? Like.
Oh my God, so dang.
Anyway, I ain't messing with her. She came in just for violence.
That's it.
Because Bunny chooses violence.
There she go with the rainbow up there. Jeebus.
That's what you got to put in front of the French bread. I put that in front of the French bread. Yeah.
She's gonna throw a loaf up.
All right. So while we got to talk about it, so it's this guy. His name's Alvy Silverberg, right? A.V. Silverberg, ABI, and then Silverberg is spelled how you would expect it. So the trans woman's powerlifting record broken by a man to prove a point. So they had the women's record, and then the trans woman had the record, and then the dude just showed up and said, yeah, I'm a woman. He ain't dressed like a woman. He ain't did nothing because the Canadian law say you ain't got to have hormone therapy.
Ain't nobody got
you ain't got to have nothing, right?
You just say, identify as whoever you identify with.
Yeah, and just get busy. So they had, I think he beat about like 100 pounds too. And when I mean he pressed that thing easy, I mean he pressed that thing like it was a push-up. He
looked like a wrestler. Bodybuilder, but he looks like one of the wrestlers. Like that's how big he was. Like no.
Oh, you mean like a WWE wrestler?
Yeah.
Like not a real wrestler.
Yeah.
When you say wrestler, I be thinking about like actual Olympic and collegiate athletes.
I be thinking about WWF and stuff like that.
It ain't WWF no more. That's how old you is. WWE.
Oh, I'm 38.
World. Where is it? You know,
and still crew.
You know why they changed it from WWF?
No.
Because the WWF is the World Wildlife Federation.
Oh.
So they was like, give us our name and we're going to sue the hell out of you. So they had to turn it to World Wrestling Entertainment or whatever it is.
Cool. Makes sense. Okay, good.
But anyway, so old boy went in, trolled the hell out of him. And just, I'm talking about, he walked off this and that. So, but the crazy thing.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm about to say, this is part that get me.
The crazy thing is when they asked the trans lady, because she was there and she was like working the stage and stuff like that. And she was like, he came here with bad intentions and people malicious intent and people like me because I'm nice to people.
Why
that's why I'm accepted because I'm nice to people and this and that. I'm like, all these women getting their records smashed by this grown man is not happy about it. So when he came through, it wasn't malicious
because someone that's unfair because you're biologically a man. Like, okay, wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because you're biologically a man. Let me tell you how strong both y'all Y chromosome is. Capital Y chromosomes in there.
That's the thing that bothered me about that because you have a all-woman sector of that sport, right? And then a trans woman come in,
thrash everybody.
Biologically a man, thrashed it, got her world record, right? She has some sort of world record in that. And then now gets mad at a man who identifies as a woman who is clearly, biologically a man too. Gets mad at him for smashing her record. Like, what kind of shit is that?
I think this really has to be one of the things. Like I said it before, when it's like a lot of this comes down to like women are just accepting of so much, and I think women like at first got to be like, hey, look, enough's a fucking enough. Like, there's no reason why you who've been a woman for you have been a female for 38 years. And get called some cisgender or something like that. You're just a woman.
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman. If you want to talk about like ethnicity or something like that, you can throw it in.
Because you want to change you, that's fine. Yeah. Change you, cool, but you don't have to change me in the process. I'm not doing all that.
That's right, Johnny. Because you're gonna have a double. Hey, sometimes you got to slide. Sometimes you got to grease the standard so they slide easy. You know what I'm saying? He said if you're gonna have a standard, better make it double.
Hey, yeah.
Better make it a double. But yeah, so what's crazy about that too? So it was, and it's another lady who's in collegiate sports, and she was at. The swimmer, yeah, but she went against Leah, don't know the name, but the trans swimmer from I think it was Penn State who was out there just destroying everybody, whatever, and tied. Apparently they tied, and then they was like, all right, you guys tied. Leah's gonna take the trophy though. You can take a picture with it, but Leah got to take the trophy. He's like, why? And like, well, for the optics and this and that, Leah got to take the trophy. And it's like she 20 years old, been swimming since she was 4. So for 16 years, this woman.
person.
Yeah, and meet this biological man. Beat a biological man. So
her
whatever y'all want to
competitor.
say gender is, biological man. Beat a biological man who has hands the size of canoe paddles or whatever, and beat like she should have got the damn
She
award
should
just
have
for
got
that.
the trophy.
You beat a 6 foot something
And
man.
plus, if the other person already won for the year prior,
I don't
let the new person come
I
in and
don't
get the
care.
trophy
It's
home.
like either they're both tied,
Mm-hmm.
either they're both
We got
tied
to
or
split their
whatever.
goddamn trophy in half.
Yeah,
That's what we're
split
gonna
or
end up doing
something
because
like
I'm
you
not.
get it on Sunday, you get it on
The
even days, I
fact,
get it on odd days.
the fact that she didn't pitch a fit about that, I'd have
No, she
been
pitching the fit. So she
all
getting out there.
over.
She getting out there. It's just obviously not the narrative that the news and stuff like that want us to see,
Mm.
right? So it's the narrative of a woman being tired of this shit. Like I'm getting called. Why I got to be cisgender? Why I can't have my sport? Because what's really getting eroded really is women's rights. Because it's going to be a whole bunch of unstable men who are who are going to decide to. Guess what? You can't have your own bathrooms anymore. You know why? Because I identify as a woman. Just like you got all of these jails, where especially in California, where all these women turning up pregnant because they're giving dudes the option in California. Like, well, if you identify as a woman, fill out some paperwork. We'll look at it and then we'll send you to a prison as a woman. You don't need to have no surgery, no hormones, no nothing, this and that. And now you just got a whole bunch of female prisoners popping up pregnant. Because I'm telling you right now, if you lock me up, trust and believe I'm a lady. I'm every woman, like on God. I'm telling you, I'm going to a woman's prison, no questions asked. First of all, who's shooting the fade with me? Who's shooting the fade with me? I'm out there snatching cornbread up like it's life. Like, I'm gonna eat your cornbread. I'm eating. I'm doing my thing out there. It's up here. Hey, what's happening? When do y'all know how to cut hair? Like, I ain't changing nothing either.
I used to do it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't changing nothing either. Y'all gonna cut my hair properly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna lift weights in here like an animal. I'm deadlifting out there. I'm doing whatever. I'm on a yard dunking on bro. Joanna man out here. I'm doing whatever the hell I want. Because think about this. Men are inherently more violent. Say what you want. This and that. Men are inherently more violent. We're more physically capable of violence. We're more violent in nature. And so realistically, if I got the choice between going to a women's prison and a men's prison, even if it wasn't something like I was going to be in there, I was going to get more butt than ashtrays. Besides that, if it was just from a safety standpoint, I'm way safer in a prison full of women than I am with men. Just as, if you think about it, if everybody decided to turn on me, I can knock a couple of these small women head completely off their shoulders to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? Like if I decapitate one of them, the rest of them might back up or something. It's like enough dudes jump on me, it's game over. Yeah. Enough women jump on me, it's game over too. But I'm thinking if I could just send a couple of them to the other side, they might leave me alone on my tier. You know what I mean? But I mean, who not gonna take that deal though? It's not dude alive who not gonna take the deal. Like, oh, you can send me to women's prison where I got a chance. Leeway
for everyone to take advantage of that type of system, regardless.
Yeah, I bet you don't see a whole bunch of women saying like, yeah, I want to go to men's prison. Like a whole bunch of trans men saying like, oh, I want to go to men's prison. Oh, do you? Oh, do you? Bring your pretty ass in there if you want to. Because I'm telling you, there's some dude in there on his 1,000th pull-up waiting to knock your prostate loose. And talking about, oh, no, I identify as woman. No, you're a man. Yeah. Be a man.
People do take advantage when things like this go on. I think that's the sad part because you don't have a kind of checks and balance for this sort of thing.
But who wouldn't? Yeah. Is my thing, right? Like, who wouldn't take advantage of that? Like, in the big scheme of things, it's like, why wouldn't I go somewhere where I'm probably one of the biggest, if not biggest, and most dangerous people in the prison? That just makes me safer just being a bigger animal. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the laws of nature, it's like, I'm just a bigger animal here. People are probably going to leave me alone. I'm probably going to get treated better.
You know what? I saw, I believe it was in Florida too. I was reading this article.
Lord.
And they showed some of the proceedings that were going on in court where of course, the judicial system is trying to ban the doctors from doing any care for transgender minors, right? So
I mean, that's not castrating teenagers ain't exactly well, what's up?
So they're trying to, just basically ban the doctors and prohibit them from doing it, fining them and all kind of stuff. So this guy, I think he was a lawyer. I'm not sure. But anyway, he came up. He's a transgender man. So
it was
he
a
came
woman,
up. Yeah, biological woman that's now a man. So what happens is that, he made a valid point in saying, you're telling me that I have to go to a bathroom that is, that I was assigned to by birth, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Imagine me. Now, this woman, well, man, he had a face full of hair. Like, you would never think that this person was a woman ever, right? He looks just like anybody else, any male that you would know. Okay. And so imagine he was like, I'm sorry, I get so confused. I can't. Anyway, this person was like, imagine me going into the bathroom with your daughters, seeing me the way that I am now. Imagine what type of trauma that would be. Imagine some man is unsafe because imagine seeing me follow your wife to the bathroom. I'm going to put myself in danger now because all they see is me as a man. So why do I have to now go into this bathroom
I
and
don't.
face my safety to be in jeopardy and face all these different crimes that could happen to me based or other people based on the way I look?
So the immediate answer to make all this better, I really don't know because I
And
think
that was a valid point though. That was definitely a valid point. I was like, that makes sense because yeah, if I seen him come into a bathroom with me, like I got a whole lot of questions.
yeah,
And,
I mean, I
just
get it.
problems.
I get it, but the whole thing about it is like, all right, but then on the flip side of it, so then what happens when I go into the women's bathroom?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now we gonna put it to a point where it's like there's no way we've literally went against the natural order of the world, right? Like so we're already here. But the point of the matter is there's no way to make everybody happy. So what so it's like, yeah, you got a beard or something like that. So yeah, but so now what we're gonna do is based off of like we're gonna do a factor of like how much of a man or woman do you
Right.
look
And
like?
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Then
There's
we just gonna
no
have some
real-
regular men and women having to
Right.
use the other bathroom. Like, dog, you look kind of soft. Women's bathroom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
there's no real checks and balance about this. Like, how are you gonna actively put this into play? Like, it doesn't really. I don't see it working.
yeah, and
on either way.
to me it's just complete. To me, it's just complete anarchy, right? Like the whole idea behind it is just complete anarchy because it's like we want to get rid of gender roles because we're trying to get rid of gender as a construct or whatever. But then it's like, then what does it matter? Like, you know what I'm saying? If gender is a construct, then why does it matter what you do or what you know what I'm saying? So it's like you obviously care a lot about this. Mm-hmm. This is obviously an important topic or whatever. So it's like either people need to do what Wick said the answer to the bathroom situation is each stall needs a door that goes to the floor. Done. Wash your hands outside. All right, fair enough. But yeah, so it's like you would imagine even what would be more sensible is like whatever we keep the social construct of masculinity and femininity, and then whatever you identify as, you fall into that social construct will make more sense. But what it comes into is that people want zero rules, right? And that's all it really is people want zero rules and they want to be able to do
what they want,
whatever they want to do. And the moment that they get pushback, it's like, let me raise hell because I have the right to raise hell. And it's one of them things that like I don't like it when people do it with anything. Like even with the Second Amendment, right? Like when people just go and act an ass with guns and just show them off and do stuff like that, just because they can, it's just like, why, bro? Like if you could just go in an open carrying near, like as close as you can to a school zone or something, just to show like I can carry my gun, I'm well within my rights or something like.
The donut shop.
Boy, the donut shop who got an AR-15 on the sling on his back. It's like I will beat the brakes off you and take that AR-15. Like what do you do? It's not even efficient the way you carry it. Like, and so it's like stuff like that when you just like showing off to show off. It's like I think all of that's stupid, right? Like, and that's why I think like people could be kind. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like the same thing when people say, oh, I'm not an asshole. I'm not this and that. I'm just honest. Well, we could be honest without being assholes. You know what I'm saying? And it was a video that I watched where a dude basically spoke of it, where he is a guy. He went to his friend's play, a woman, and went to the play. Play was fucking god awful, right? The play was god awful, whatever. So she asked him right afterwards, like, hey, what did you think about the play? He was like, before she could even finish, she was like, yo, I'm so happy that I got a chance to come out here and see you do your thing. It made my day to just see you in your element doing your thing. It was a beautiful thing to see. And she was like, oh, yeah, cool. The next day he called and was like, hey, can we talk about my honest opinion about the play? And she was like, yeah. And then they had a conversation about how the shit was trash. But he wasn't dishonest. In the beginning, he got a chance to see her do her thing, which is still a beautiful thing, right? It's like watching your kids suck at sports or something like that. It's beautiful to see your kid out here running around and doing stuff, but they trash. So you know what I mean?
My thing, why he just didn't say that in the jump? Why he had to wait till the next day to bring it back?
Because the point is that her adrenaline and everything was just too high, and she was on this cloud of like, I'm so excited I just did this. And imagine,
right? Well, you could still say, hey, I'm so happy to see you. I love seeing you do your thing. I didn't think the play was that great, but for your parts and everything, I enjoyed it.
So for the record, I would never go to you for how to gently let somebody down about anything. You were absolutely the worst person in the world. No, you're horrible.
Don't tell me about it the next day. Then you told me yesterday it was good. Now
no, he didn't tell her it was good. He didn't tell her it was good. That's the point. He didn't lie. He said it was beautiful to see you do your thing and see you in your element.
Right, but the actual play, the production of it, I didn't like that. But
The
you
point
doing
is,
you, I enjoyed
so
watching
the
that.
point is like the point is you could come in like Fox and just be up to be like, hey, what did you think of the play? It was fucking
I
trash. You need
wouldn't
to
say
stick to
I
your
did
day
not
job. You
say
come in
that.
like Fox,
I did not
or
say
or
that. That's
lying
not what I
isn't right,
said.
right? Like you don't want to lie, right? Lying is the wrong thing to say. Like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. That's also a lie. That's trash, right? That's why we got so many people going outside wearing shit, saying shit, and doing things that is completely and utterly asinine because they don't have friends to tell them like, hey, girl, don't wear that. Hey, homie, don't wear that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't act like that. Don't say that. You look crazy. Don't do it. Like, we don't have enough of those friends. We got all the friends that's like, do what you want. You can do what you want. It's your world. This and that. Now y'all all look like a bunch of idiots and y'all want to jump off a building because people start clowning you and telling you the truth at a shitty part of your life. So the truth, what he's saying about telling the truth is you can tell the truth. You just gotta, like, sometimes you can't take the edge off of the truth to spare people's feelings so they can receive the message. Because what are you really trying to do? Are you trying to just say something to get it off your chest, be done with it so you can move on with your life? Or are you actually trying to get this person that you're talking to understand your message? Because we talked about this with our communication. Sometimes the delivery and everything else is a way you can say some things that not gonna understand, and that defeats the purpose. Now you might have said something like, hey, you're an asshole, and it's like, cool, I heard you say I'm an asshole, or I called you an asshole and you heard me say I'm an asshole. Now what has that done for you? Nothing. It's just like, all right, I'm an asshole. Well, all right, but and now our voices are higher, and you know what I mean, it doesn't solve anything. That was just an ego thing for one of us to say something mean to the other person so we feel better about something. You did?
I did.
You a sleepy face fox. Look at her. Looking a little tired. Eyes getting low. I mean, we ain't gonna run this one that long anyway. You had something right now. I saw some gun stuff over there.
Oh yeah.
I looked over there and saw some gun stuff, and I was like,
yeah. So basically, there you go. Gun to your head. So you're transported back in time to medieval Europe.
Yeah, you've been really on this time travel lately.
You know, I like time travel anyway.
Yeah. So,
which items would you rather take with you? AR-15 with lots of ammo, backpack of golds and riches, medical supplies, or a safe room stocked with water and non-perishable items?
Medieval Europe. So an AR-15 and a ass whacking ammo.
Medical supplies.
Medical supplies.
Safe
what kind of like
water.
brand? Like I'm taking 2023 medical supplies with me back then.
Antibiotics. Yeah, medical supplies we have now.
Yeah. Okay. Or.
And and then or perishable items in the safe room. Water, non-perishable items.
Non-perishable items in the safe room. That's kind of out because it's like I'm not going to just stay in that safe room because it's like if I go out and then I get dysentery or something like that, it don't really matter. I'm die where I'm at out there.
Get consumption
out there. You know what I'm saying? That's game over. So it's between the AR-15 and the medical supplies. AR-15, I get to be the new ruler, but mess around and get consumption.
You out of there.
But it's like if I got the medical supplies and then I get, you know what I mean, scooped up for being a witch or something, because
get jousted,
then I'm out of here. So I don't know, man. I think I might take my chances with the AR-15, couple mags, and I'm about to change history.
Change the world.
Because
change the world.
Yeah. Change the world. Because I'm telling you right now, medieval, they coming out there. Do you know what it would feel like getting your bell rung by 556 in a tin can suit? Whoo, boy, that's some freedom zooming at your ass, boy. Zoom freedom.
I would.
Oh, yeah, it was backpack full of golden riches. That's out because you'll just get jumped.
Yeah.
Fox gonna get jumped. Boop, bop.
I would go with the medical supplies.
Yeah. What you gonna do when you get robbed for your medical supplies?
I'm coming to you so you can shoot them.
Oh, we both did. Oh, we good. We good. Tag team back again. We bad. You better get the medical supply because I'm be out there. Iron sights. I don't care, boy. I'm giving them DOS business. Boy, could you imagine one man takes over the world with the AR-15 and unlimited ammo? King of the North, South, East, West, the Seven Kingdoms, the Andals, and all that other shit from Game of Thrones. Yeah, that'd be it. Anybody messing with you AR-15?
Not in those times, at least. Thank you guys for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner. We always appreciate your support and participation. If y'all got a topic y'all want us to talk about, y'all can hit us up either on the socials or askunclelegend@gmail.com or text us, whatever y'all want to do. We'll talk about it. Peace.
Peace. We still had a little time. I guess we got some overtime. Ain't bad time.
Yep. Yo.
OT.
Overtime. What's up? What's on your mind?
Overtime. Whatever y'all want to talk about, y'all can just throw it up. We doing it.
Throw it up.
Just ball out. Whatever y'all want to talk about. They ain't gonna stay too long. I'm telling you, got a little overtime. We had a quick one today, so I got a little time before the ocean calls me to drink it.
What's going on, y'all?
I didn't really got nothing for it. Yo, so how would you protect the medical supplies? Like if it was just you?
I don't know.
Yo, do you know that my thing about getting the AR-15 and the magazines, because I don't think there's no way that I fit in. You in medieval Europe? This? You are a witch. Like, and then when they find those syringes and medical supplies and this and that, them dudes them little plague doctors about to come with their little beaks. She's a witch. Mm-hmm. They're gonna put us for nah. They as soon as they look at me and be like, here's a warlock. You right? Fireball.
Blow some blowfish in it. Shut up.
That's not part of modern medicine.
Shut up.
You just
gotta take it back.
What you gonna bring COVID back?
Yeah,
you gonna give them COVID back there? Like, everybody got COVID.
Yep.
Their immune systems was probably elite back then, though.
I don't know. They had a lot of shit. I don't know.
Yo, think about how dirty they was to only have what they had. Like, if we was that dirty right now, we all be out of here.
Oh my God, bathing how many times a month? If that?
What? If that? Remember, that's where the term "throw the baby out the bathwater" came from, right? Mm-hmm. They'd only wash in the spring or something like that. The baby go last, and they wouldn't see the baby because the water's so dirty. Yeah, you just going in there.
I couldn't imagine. Oh my God.
And that's why they would have all them flowers and stuff to make the wedding smell better and stuff like that.
I skip that lifetime, Lord? I don't know, because I just can't.
You might just have PTSD from it and be like, it didn't happen.
I just can't.
Fox noises.
Well, it looks like y'all don't have anything for us today, so we're gonna shut this one down here.
Peace.